Welcome to LA Press Box, everybody. We're glad you're with us as the Dodgers return home to a three-game series against the Kansas City Royals at Dodger Stadium. Whether you're blacked out, away from a television, listening while you're on the road, or simply looking for a deeper way to follow Dodgers baseball, LA Press Box is your live game companion. Our live command center is going to handle the live numbers. You can see them over my shoulder. We have different views of the command center over the course of this live stream. And we will be free to focus on trends, stories, and matchups. Speaking of stories, the Dodgers return home after dropping 2 of 3 in Arizona. And now Arizona is only 7.5 back in the National League West. But the Dodgers remain in the middle of their most difficult stretch of the season. Kansas City isn't arriving in good form either, which makes tonight an opportunity for one of these clubs to begin changing its recent trajectory. Los Angeles has exactly the pitcher it acquired for nights like this. Tarik Skubal makes his Dodger Stadium debut. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But over the last 10 games, the Dodgers have been 2-8, and it's it's a rough picture for Dodger fans. But whether you're a Dodger fan or you're a Royals fan, you're welcome. Dodgers ended that 7-game losing streak Saturday in Arizona, barely, in extra innings, but they couldn't turn that into consecutive victories, and they lost the series to Arizona. And they've had several problems during this stretch. One is too many isolated scoring opportunities rather than sustained rallies. Inconsistent run production. That's been as glaring a weakness for them as anything, which starting pitching is right up there for the Dodgers. A bullpen that struggled protecting narrow leads. There were a couple, not to single them out, but I will anyway, that were given up by Edwin Diaz over the course of the Diamondback series. But the important distinction tonight is that the Dodgers aren't trying to merely end a losing streak anymore. They're trying to end a losing trend. So we'll see how the game starts. There's several keys to that. As far as the Royals go over the last 10 games, they are struggling as well, but unfortunately to say that not as much as the Dodgers. They are, I think, fourth from the bottom of all of the major league standings. And so needless to say, they've had a rough year. There's only 3 teams in all of baseball that have a worse record than them. But their recent problems have been a handful. Difficulty producing sustained rallies, too much dependence on a small group of hitters, and then trouble recovering after falling behind. Honestly, it's a little bit of a mirror to what the Dodgers have been going through recently. Let's go ahead and take you through the starting lineups and who opposes them. So we'll start, as always, with the Dodgers defense. And as I mentioned before, Tarik Skubal, the left-handed pitcher. As you can see here, his win-loss record is 7-6, but you can't fault him too much for that because, of course, the rest of your team in baseball makes a big difference. And his former team left him high and dry a lot of times. His ERA is only 2.81, and his WHIP is in the top 50. As you can see, it's 0.92. 122 strikeouts and only 16 walks. That is a phenomenal ratio, and that's why the trade for Tarik Skubal to the Dodgers got as much attention in the news as anything. As far as the defense, it's going to back him up tonight. First of all, the catcher is going to be Kevin Fiducia, one of the 2 catchers that joined the Dodgers right before the trade deadline because of the lack of depth and the injuries that have plagued the catching position for the Dodgers this year. First base will be Freddie Freeman. Second base will be Miguel Rojas. I think that's good, especially knowing that the Dodgers need an injection of offense, and he actually has one of the highest batting averages on the entire team. Mookie Betts will be at shortstop again, and Max Muncy, after having yesterday off, will get the start tonight, and he's one of the players profiled. It's actually Max Muncy home run night, harkening back, home run bobblehead night, harkening back to the World Series. In left field is going to be Tommy Edman, and center field would be Andy Pages, and Teoscar Hernandez will actually start in right field. So changing up things just a little bit, although I wouldn't be surprised if we have a couple of pinch hitters come in late, as we often do, for the people that are kind of interchangeable, like Kyle Tucker, for example. As far as what that defense is facing. You can see here that the Royals are, for lack of a better term, mediocre or lower than the midpoint of the league overall. But needless to say, every team, the Royals included, have some batters in their lineup that can do some damage. So the first batter for them will be Nick Lofton, playing third base and batting .243. Then one of the major focal points of production for their offense follows that, playing shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. with an average of .284 and 13 home runs. He has 42 RBI. Then Caglianone, first base, Perez, catcher, Jensen, the DH, Marte in right field, Massey at second base, Collins in left field, and Isbell in center field. So in terms of Tarek Skubal versus this lineup, it's pretty interesting if you look at his last 3 games, going back to 3 games ago when he faced this lineup before he was traded. On July 24th, he went 7 1/3 innings, only gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 12 strikeouts. And so needless to say, that's the most relevant start because he dominated them the last time that he faced them, although it was with a different team. He actually had a season high when it came to strikeouts while only allowing that 1 run across 91 pitches. And during that game, his changeup was particularly devastating. We'll see if that's the case as well tonight. 2 games ago, this is the game before he was traded. On July 29th, he faced the Baltimore Orioles. And it was the last time that the Tigers ultimately pushed him towards saying, I want to be on another team. Although I think he's been on record since the trade saying he'd like to finish his career with them because he's a loyal person. But in that case, he took a shutout into the 7th inning, leaving Detroit with an awesome, commanding lead before the Tigers bullpen just completely surrendered it in a 10-9 extra inning loss. I'm glad that I'm not a Tigers fan. He also got his 1,000th career strikeout during that outing. Then, of course, his Dodgers debut on the road at the Chicago Cubs had a very solid outing. The Cubs have proven over the last several weeks to be one of the toughest teams in baseball. But during that outing, solid job with 6 innings pitched and 2 earned runs, 1 home run given up, and 6 strikeouts. So he's exactly who we think he is, and hopefully that's all he needs to do is show who he is tonight. As far as the other side of the ledger, Noah Cameron gets the start for the Royals, and he has a 6-8 record. But even though on the surface it doesn't look very impressive, and it's not, once again, the rest of your team has a lot to do with that. His ERA is 4.37, but he has 116 strikeouts with 40 walks. And he's actually been on a roll lately, and really, really strong. And you could even say exceptional. He's given up 1 earned run and 6 hits over his last 23 innings. So something's got to give tonight because he's on a roll and the Dodgers have really, really been struggling. So they're going to have to earn to get back on track with their offensive attack. You can see the defense in position behind him and in front of him at catcher. And the Dodgers, as they have for a very long time now, rank in the top 10, if not the top 5 of every batting category in baseball. But they have shown anything but power and explosiveness and the ability to put together runs in clumps. And so hopefully that's something that they do tonight at home with Tarek Skubal on the mound, giving them a little bit of momentum. As always, when we take a look at the batting order, whether it's the Dodgers or their opponents, anybody that ranks in a batting category in the top 20 in the league is, in my opinion, elite. And so our command center automatically highlights that. And you can see Shohei Ohtani is there in every single category, whether it's his average of 292, slugging percentage of 542, or 71 RBI. Andy Pages will be in the second spot, of course, playing center field. And as usual, he's kind of been hovering around that elite status of RBI. Sometimes he's not highlighted in gold, sometimes he is, but he's kind of been in and out of that category all year long, and he's particularly good when there's runners on in scoring position. Freddie Freeman's average has dropped just a little bit lately, but still batting over 300. And of course, in 3 categories, he's elite. Tommy Edman gets the cleanup position tonight to start the game. Mookie Betts will be in the 5 spot. Rojas at 286, as I said before. Compare him to all these averages. Okay, even Tommy Edman, who was kind of on fire for a month when he first rejoined the Dodgers after his rehab stint, is below where Miguel Rojas is. And so not much in the home run category, as you can see over here. You follow his numbers along the 6th line. He only got 3, but he does a nice job producing at the plate, especially in clutch situations. And he's done that for a really long time. He'll be followed in the 7th spot by Teoscar Hernandez, and I would not be surprised if Teoscar struggles again tonight if they just make a clean sub with Kyle Tucker in there. Number 8 spot will be Max Muncy, and he's batting 248, and as you can see, he's second in terms of Dodgers with home runs on this season in 22. It's got power when he's able to turn on the ball and pull it to right field. And then in the 9th spot, Hunter Fiducia, so he's batting 235 with 2 home runs and 12 RBI. So that's the lineup for tonight. And, the Dodgers really just have to put together a complete game. They need to have the starting pitcher go deep into the game without giving up home runs early, and the Dodgers having to climb out of a hole, causing the hitters to press. And at the same time, what the offense has to do is take advantage of the fact that you do have a pitcher that's been really, really good lately. But the Dodgers have success against the Royals. So being able to do that is going to be crucial rather than trying to claw back and eke out a win late. We don't want to be in a position where we feel like it's a coin toss going into the last couple of innings. All right, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unveil a new feature for us. And that is getting your feedback in the chat on what's important for tonight. And I got a couple things for you. So before we go to the 3D, the first thing is, what will be the biggest key to this game? Type in the chat which one you think it is. If you think it's star power, starting pitching, you could say that Tarek Skubal would be an example of a star. The bullpen or the defense when it comes to the Dodgers winning this game. Go ahead and type in the chat now before we get over to the live coverage and the 3D coverage. Which one of these things you think is going to be the biggest key to this game? Next, before we click over, I'm not going to ask you about this one, but who do you think needs to be the hero tonight for the Dodgers? Type in the chat 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you think Shohei Ohtani needs to be the hero tonight, type 1. If you think it needs to be Mookie Betts, type 2. Freeman, type 3. Or 4, type somebody else. Needless to say, Tarek Skubal is a big part of what's going on tonight, and so if he gets off to a strong start, that would be huge. And at the same time, when you have a moment, let us know where you're joining us from and who you're rooting for. One of the things that, before we click over, we want to make sure that everybody understands is that the purpose of this new channel is to give people a chance to come together, especially LA sports fans, but also opponents who are in this modern era of having trouble figuring out where they can find the game. Sometimes it's going to be on MLB TV. Sometimes it's going to be on Apple. Sometimes it's going to be on any one of a number of different platforms. And so what we're hoping to do is, whether or not you can actually watch the game on television, we have an extra resource for you to be able to at least connect with the team of your choice. And tonight, of course, We welcome the Royals fans as much as we do the Dodgers. What will happen momentarily is we'll load the 3D video. And once the game is underway, you'll be able to see in our command center in the top left corner what is happening. Both the score, balls, strikes, outs, and the player card matchups. If anybody's on base, you'll be able to see that with our interactive diamond as well. In between innings, we'll go ahead and go to our change of sides command center. It'll tell you who's coming up, but we'll also be able to use that as a resource when students are making. At the end of the game, we'll just do a brief post-game roundup that looks at the statistics, the trends, and the stories overall during the game. Yes, I agree. I agree, Caesar. Strong starting pitching has to be the case. And that should be exactly what we've ordered for tonight. And when I say we, I mean us as fans. I mean, this is an official Dodgers shirt, right? It's not a knockoff. And my my $2 and my whatever it is that I contributed goes towards this payroll. And I think Caesar, the last time he came in, said something like, what do we have, like a $7 trillion payroll? And this is what we get. Yeah, we've all pitched in, and this is why the Dodgers can afford to get people like Tarek Skubal, like Shohei Ohtani, like some of these outstanding players. So hopefully that pays off tonight. And I have a lot of confidence in Skubal. We go back to our pregame command center. You can see that Skubal has a whip of 0.92. But most importantly, the last time he faced the Royals, and this is 3 games ago, he absolutely dominated them. He had 12 strikeouts that game. And that certainly helped his total, as you can see down here in terms of Ks. He's in the top 35. He has 122 strikeouts and only 16 walks. That's a crazy, crazy ratio. I'm going to get you to another. Oops, I'm going to go back. Sorry. So Caesar voted for who should be the hero tonight. Somebody else, essentially. I don't even know if I want to do this one, though. I'm going to show you another important poll. How we think this game's going to end. Is it going to be a Dodgers comeback? Which, of course, if we win, I'll take it. Dodgers hold on, goes to extra innings, or God forbid, the opponent wins. So type in the chat a 1 if you think it's going to be a Dodgers comeback tonight. Type in a 2 in the chat if you think it's going to be the Dodgers holding on. Type a 3 for extra innings, which they had 2 games ago to break that 7-game losing streak, the longest of the season. And type 4 if you think it is the Royals coming out victorious. Most important thing is I don't want to miss the beginning, so I'm going to make sure that I am ready when the 3D is ready. And so now is the time, with about a minute or 2 before the first pitch, for you, if you haven't had it yet, to gather up your favorite snack or maybe your food, as well as your favorite drink, and I'm going to get us ready. Get started. And we're underway with Scooble starting with a strike. And all kinds of cheers in Dodger Stadium for the positives. Appreciate you, Ro. Good to have you and Caesar in. So Scooble starts off against Lofton, who's batting .243 with 5 home runs and 35 RBI. And since Rowe mentioned his Cubbies, a well-deserved night off. As I said earlier in the broadcast, one of the best teams in baseball. Although these Royals were able to take one game off of them, and right on cue, Lofton gets a hit off a Scooble. Dodgers, of course, were not able to win a single game against the Cubs in Chicago, and they got swept. Part of the nightmare that is this downturn. So that's going to bring up Witt Jr., batting .284 with 13 home runs. And this one is chopped to third. They're going to try to turn two, throw it to second, and Rojas is on the base, but not able to get it all the way over to Freddie Freeman in time. So one away. It's nice having Max Muncy back at third, honestly. He's our best fielding third baseman. And now Caglianone comes up, batting .264 with 20 home runs. And the first pitch is high for a ball, curveball at 80 miles an hour. He is on an 8-game hitting streak, though. And Scooble throws to first. And that one is line foul and kind of weakly at that. So the count early is 1-1. Little program note, tomorrow is August 11th, also known as my brother's birthday. So I'm going to have a little shout out. I don't know if he'll be able at some point to join us, but I'd love to get him in the chat and celebrate him. And they're going to go to second, and the throw not in time. I think they knew that the steal attempt was coming, because if you have any games under your belt in the majors, they have the resources to film you. They're filming every play, of course, and they know whether you got a hose for an arm or just a wet noodle back there. And no offense, but it looked a little bit more like a ladder. It was not even close. And so, of course, this is one way you can manufacture runs. Get guys on, and then have them steal extra bases. And that one misses low. So now the count's 2-2. Caglianone has 49 RBI, and of course he's got a chance already in the first inning to be able to add to that total with a runner in scoring position thanks to the steal. Unfortunately, with a stolen base, Dodgers now not in a position to be able to turn two. Fouls that off. Count remains 2-2. Google the lefty takes a little peek at second. That's a pretty sizable lead if you ask me. And this one is grounded foul to the right of first base. So another 2-2 pitch on the way. Caglianone breaks it right over the base, even though Mookie Betts was playing shifted over. And just like that, Kansas City strikes first. And Caglianone gets his 50th RBI. Skubal almost could have put a body part over there and at least slowed it down, but it was in the perfect spot. Perfect spot. So now Perez comes up, and the Dodgers facing an early deficit because Skubal already has given up 2 hits. And the Royals got to feel good about that because the last time he faced them, he absolutely dominated them. Perez is batting .216 with 16 home runs. Pitch swung on and missed. Now the count is 1-2. Perez really pulled his head. He put all of his power into it, but he didn't maintain eye contact with the ball. That one misses well high for ball two. 2-2 pitch. Grounded to Mookie Betts at shortstop, who shovels it to second, and Miguel Rojas steps on the base, throws to first for a double play. So that ends the inning. But Kansas City strikes quickly with a couple of base hits and able to score because of a stolen base. And going to the bottom of the first, it's the Kansas City Royals with 1 and the Dodgers coming up. All right, so Shohei Ohtani set to come up. And needless to say, the Dodgers need to strike quickly. Enough of this get behind and try to claw in late with an anemic offensive performance. It's going to be lefty against lefty to start. Once again, Noah Cameron with 21 starts and a 4.37 ERA, but it's been outstanding lately. Ohtani is not the umpire. Reedy just takes a second to kick in properly. But Ohtani does look at the first pitch for a strike, and the count's 0-1. And that one misses inside. Counts 1-1. As we said before and showed in the pregame, Ohtani is in the top 20 in every batting category, including batting average, as he swings and misses at that one. The count's 1-2. This one, he really golfs at one that's low, way out of the strike zone, and just pops it up. Not a threat at all to Isbell in center field. So Pages over the last 12 games is batting .347. 272 overall in the season with 19 home runs. And he has 76 RBI, which puts him in the top 20 in the league. Looks at the first pitch for a ball. And the second one is also outside the strike zone, 2-0. Make that 3 straight balls. Count that 4, and the last 3 were all outside the strike zone. So here we go. The Dodgers have a runner on with 1 out. Freddie Freeman coming up. Over the last 18 games, Freddie Freeman is batting .400. But unfortunately, the trend for all of the Dodgers during this losing streak is get somebody on, hit into a double play. Get walked, and then don't do anything with it. Don't be aggressive on the base paths. Don't challenge the catcher. Don't find a way to manufacture runs. So that's part of what has to change at Dodger Stadium right now. Especially against this team, which is in the bottom 4 of baseball standings overall. Early count to Freeman is 1-1. And he swings and misses that one as well. Take a look over here at first base and see what kind of lead Pages is getting. Pages has good speed. He shows it in center field. He's still inside the first cut. So, not really a threat. I don't know why Cameron's thrown over there to try to keep him on. And that pitch misses low for ball 2, 2-2. And that one also misses, so now it's full count. And Freeman's the type of batter that can make Cameron pay right here, if Cameron gives him something to work with. Next pitch on the way, and fouled back by Freddie. Count remains full. Cameron looks over at first and throws again. Keep Pages there. That would make more sense if, there were 2 outs and they knew Pages was going to be running. And Freeman flies to left field. It's curling, but it's going to stay fair. It's in the corner, and they make the catch, but Pages is tagging up, and he's safe at second base. And so with 2 away, the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position. And Tommy Edman coming up. Edman's batting .279 on the year. Partial year. I don't know if we'd say half of the year to this point, since he had ankle surgery in the offseason and then took time to rehab and looks great now. Looks fast. Takes first pitch, low and inside for a ball. Next pitch. Just misses outside. Now the count's 2-0. So Edman in a shot to be able to sit back on something that looks good. And swung on and chopped to third base. Picked up, and it just tagged Andy Pages, who runs into getting tagged unnecessarily. Could have at least turned back when he saw where the ball was going and forced a pickle. But Dodgers had an opportunity briefly, were not able to capitalize. And at the end of 1, it's the Royals 1 and the Dodgers 0. So, Tarek Skubal back to the mound after giving up an early run. And he is set to face Jensen. Jensen's batting .227 with 16 home runs. And he swings at the first pitch, and it sends Teoscar Hernandez deep. And Teo's able to make the catch at the warning track for the first out. Teo makes me a little bit nervous, and I don't know if they're trying to give Kyle Tucker a rest. That's why they're playing Teo in right field. But he doesn't always sell out. He doesn't always give his best effort. And he's fine. He's fine if he doesn't have to stretch himself. But sometimes I think he's a little bit careless. And if you're going to be like that in the outfield some of the time, you better get it done at the plate. And he's not performing as well as he has in the past. Sometimes looks silly swinging at balls that are outside. But that's my brief Teo rant. Now Marte is up. And the early count to him is 1-1. Marte's batting .250. you're rooting for the Dodgers, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not rooting for the Royals, you're also welcome. Put a 2 in the chat. That one misses for Scoob, and now it's evened at 2-2. Next pitch on the way for Scooble, and that one's fouled off. And he's working pretty quickly here. He's got that high leg kick, Scooble does, as that one's fouled back by Marte. And I think one of the things that makes him difficult as a pitcher is with that high leg kick, he reaches way back and deep with the ball behind himself that it's just hard to pick up early enough to be able to track where the ball is going. That one also fouled back, and the count's 2-2. Marte has 14 RBI in the season. Pretty low total. This is not what you would consider to be an explosive offense. Just not. And that's one of the many reasons they have the 4th worst record in all of baseball. But they have a lead against the Dodgers. And the 3-2 pitch misses high. And Scooble walks Marte. Now Michael Massey comes up, batting .262. Question is, are they going to, they being the Royals, continue to force the issue? Already able to steal a base on this catcher. Badusha did not look very good the last time they tried to steal, although right now the lead is pretty marginal. I don't know the Royals well enough to know whether they have speed at any one particular spot. They don't know them that well to know who's speedy on base and who isn't. Massey fouls that one off, and they really count to him as 1-1. Next pitch fouled off, and the count's 1-2. Next pitch on the way from Scooble, and it's well placed inside, just outside of the strike zone, and strike 3. So now the 8-hitter, Collins, is coming up. Collins batting .239 on the season. Oh, it looks like the left side of his nose is caved in. How does he breathe out of that thing? It's like a slit. That pitch misses. And the second one connects on the lower inside corner of the strike zone. The count now is 1-1. Collins got a pretty unique batting stance, too. Well, the 3D can show it okay. Kind of has his bat, like, hovering in front of him. You can see it's, like, out in front of him, about chest high. And then once the ball gets delivered, he rears back with the bat. I don't know if that's, like, his resting position before he coils and then tries to unleash the coil. But he only has 6 home runs on the season. That one's fouled back. 2 strikes on Collins. So 2-2, runner at first with 2 out. Isbell's on deck. That one is fouled to the left, out of play near third base. And the 2-strike pitch on the way. Swung on a miss for another strikeout by Tarek Skubal, who turns and looks at the defense. I don't know what his normal body language is when he has a strikeout, but I guess I'll learn it with time. Part of me thinks that's a little bit of a challenge to his teammates to say, get up there and score some runs, dude, because this is not cutting it. I know it's early, but come on. So we're going to go to the bottom of the second in a moment, and the Royals have the early lead on the Dodgers, 1-0. So Mookie Betts is going to get his first crack at Cameron. And this is one of the guys that has to produce. As he looks at the first pitch for a strike, and the count's 0-1. We have talent all throughout the batting lineup. And that pitch is high, and the count is even, 1-1. That one misses high and inside for ball 2. Swings at this one and curls it just past the third baseman. And it's going to roll into the corner, and it's going to be a lot of trouble, and it's going to be a stand-up double. And needless to say, Mookie's going to do the Dodger dance, a.k.a. the Freddy. And this is where the Dodgers have really struggled. Get a double, and then they don't do anything with it. This is why I like the fact that Miguel Rojas is getting the start today. Because as we said in the earlier part of today's broadcast, he has one of the highest batting averages of all the Dodgers. He's batting .286. He only has 18 RBI, but he hasn't played in a full-time role and started consistently. I'm all for this move. And this pitch fouled back, and the count is 1-1 early to Rojas. If you're rooting for the Dodgers, put a 1 in the chat. And if you're rooting for the Royals, you're also welcome. Put a 2 in the chat. Helps our channel get off the ground. And since we have you here, I want you to know that very soon we're also going to start covering Los Angeles football. Rams, Chargers when we have time, and UCLA football. It's nice to have football season around the corner and baseball playoffs looming as well. Count to Miggy is 3-1, which is a great count to put him in because he's very disciplined at the plate. Nobody out. And Mookie at second with a healthy lead, as you can see over there. This pitch fouled off. Count's full. And that one's also fouled back. So Rojas being tough at the plate. And this is part of what he does. The best Dodgers batters with runners in scoring position are people like Rojas, people like Freddie Freeman, Andy Pages. And this is what they do. They swing with 2 strikes at anything close, even if they're technically balls. And they are tough. That's what's frustrated the Dodgers defensively. Both their pitching staff and the defense themselves have kind of lost focus a little bit against some of the better teams in baseball who have done this to the Dodgers. And battles enough to draw the walk. Thanks, Rojas. Charlie says hi. Charlie says thank you. So now it's going to bring up Teoscar Hernandez, the guy that I had a mini rant on. Hasn't done anything wrong tonight. Didn't make a mistake in right field. I'm just saying that, sometimes he's a little lackadaisical. At least he has been lately. And if you're going to be like that, not always sell out or not always make great plays, like we regularly get from Andy Pages and sometimes get from Kyle Tucker in right field, you better be getting it done at the plate. And Teo has been way too inconsistent. That when he swings and misses, pulls his head, and the count is 1-1. Nobody out, and this is exactly the kind of situation that the Dodgers have to turn around. Runners in scoring position, grand opportunity to even the score and even get a lead here, as that one misses low for ball 2. And this one is grounded in the hole. Bobby Witt Jr. is able to stop it, throws to second, and they actually turn a double play. How did the Dodgers allow that when the ball was hit so deep and so far? You would think Teo would be able to leg it and beat that play, but he didn't. And this is one of the things that has frustrated Dodgers fans like me. Bye, Teo. When they have runners in scoring position and they hit into double plays. They're leading the National League with the most hit into double plays of any team. However, there's only 2 outs. It's not like the inning's over. Max Muncy's coming up in the 8th spot. And there is a runner at 3rd. Muncy's batting .248, and as we said and showed earlier, has 22 home runs. So second on the Dodgers behind Shohei Ohtani, and that pitch is way outside for a ball. Way outside. Let's go Dodgers. Playing the tune in Dodger Stadium. And I'm with you, though he swings and misses at a ball and the count's 1-1. Now they're playing charge, and I'm all for that. No better time than now. That's all we have control over. And the now would be great to get a home run. The pitch was outside and in the dirt for ball 2. And that one's in there for a strike. And the next pitch on the way, and way low and outside. Muncy chases. And that's exactly what the Dodgers can't be doing. They can't be trying to put everything on their shoulders and say, I'm going to be the guy that makes some kind of crazy play. Just do your job, be disciplined. But, you know, sloppy at bat from Teoscar Hernandez. We should know that he can't be hitting into a double play in any circumstance, but he does anyway. But at the end of 2, still early, and the Royals have the early lead over the Dodgers, 1-0. So Skubal getting ready to go back to work. And he has the lowest ERA in baseball since 2003, only a 2.46. And yes, he gave up an early run, but it just doesn't concern me. He looks good. And if they weren't able to steal so easily on us, then the second hit of the game would not have produced the first run of the game. He's set to face Isbell for the first time, the 9-hitter. Isbell looks at the first pitch right down the pipe for a strike. That one misses inside for a ball, 1-1. And next one is fouled off to the left. Now the count's 1-2. Get him, Charlie. And that one misses, evening the count, 2-2. No outs. Isabel's batting .233 on the season and has a meager 3 home runs, as well as a meager 13 RBI. That one misses outside, and the count's full. That one's a strike and swung on. High chopper to Miguel Rojas, but he's able to gather it up and throw to Freddie Freeman. Plenty of time. And one away. So now the Royals come to the top of the lineup. And Nick Lofton, who has already singled. 1 for 1, singled, stole a base, and then scored. And fouls that first one off for a strike, 0-1. And swings at the first pitch here. It's hit to left center. Andy Paz is on his horse, but he's not going to be able to get there. Bounces off the wall, and then he throws it in. But Lofton is now 2 for 2 on Skubal with a double. And the Royals already have 3 hits, although 2 of them at the hands of Lofton. And now Bobby Witt Jr. comes up, who's 0 for 1. But as good a batter as the Royals have. And he has a golden opportunity with only 1 out to score a man at second base. He's already done so tonight. That one misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Bobby Witt's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time Golden Glove. And showed some of that talent and skill earlier already tonight with great range, stealing a ball that was hit to the hole by Teoscar Hernandez. And somehow delivering it to second base in time for them to turn 2 on the Dodgers. With runners in scoring position, Witt's hitting .293 this season. A little bit of a delay. Witt Jr. backs out and then comes back in. Skubal takes a glance at second and throws that one right down the middle. And that's his first strike. Now the count's 3-1. Skubal wearing number 29. And that one fouled off, and the count's full. So the count started 3-0, and Skubal's battled his way back. And Skubal about to deliver the full count pitch and swung on strike 3. So another strikeout for Skubal. And 2 outs with a runner at second. But this is the scenario that the Royals are able to capitalize on with the same exact people to get out to a 1-0 lead. It wasn't a double. It was a single and a stolen base. With a runner at second, Aglianone was up, and he was able to single a runner home. Skubal starts him with a strike here. Scooble's already up to 55 pitches. And that one is fouled off. So I'll make it 56. But the count remains 0-2. So the Royals at least making him work. And this is a big key. Make it necessary, as that one's also fouled back, to get Scooble out of the game for the 7th inning or the 6th inning, even better. And this one is struck hard to right field. Teoscar Hernandez is going back, but he's going to not even try to go to the wall because it is gone. It's a home run. And here's another guy with 2 straight hits off of Scooble. The 1-hitter and the 3-hitter. And suddenly the Royals are up on the Dodgers 3-0. I wish I could say that it makes me feel better that guy demolished the Cubbies. But, I mean, I'm so tired. I appreciate you saying in the chat that, yeah, this guy's on a roll for the Royals. But it seems like that's kind of been the story for the Dodgers lately. You know, they're facing people and teams, for that matter, that are hot. But, you know, on the other side of every team that's hot is another one that's not. And the Dodgers are really underperforming, needless to say. So now, Scooble. Come on up. Want to come up, Charlie? Come on. Charlie wants to come up. Needless to say, I mean, like everybody's suffering, and Scooble does not look happy. He's just kind of slowly operating, looking at the sky. And then he strikes out Perez there, but still walking slowly to the dugout. And on one hand, yes, Caglianone, that's how you pronounce it, is hot, and he's been damaging multiple teams. Now he's given Scoob a nightmare early in this game. But at the same time, I mean, the Dodgers have to, as a team, pull together and collectively change this narrative. And it's like the natural, you know, when they say losing is a disease. And it's like they're infecting Scooble with their disease right now. But we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd, and it's still early, so we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. Currently, it's the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 0. So Cameron goes back to the mound for the Royals. And he's only thrown 39 pitches so far. And just now, getting to the bottom of the Dodger lineup, number 9, Hunter Fiducia, is catching. He has a couple of home runs, batting .235. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. Ohtani on deck, followed by Paez. And that one's in there for a strike. And this one is going to be another leadoff double, this time hit by Fiducia in the same exact spot that we had before. And he's got a stand-up double. Good job, noob. Appreciate you, noob. Now let's do something with it, for crying out loud. How about this guy who makes hundreds of millions of dollars? I love Ohtani. This is a jersey, a shirt with Ohtani's name on the back. But come on, dude. Let's go. Ohtani's 0 for 1. Got to hit when it matters most. He's got a .291 average. So 1-0 to Ohtani after a pitch way outside. And this one is struck deep. It's in right center. It is going to be up against the wall for a double. So Fiducia is going to score, no problem. And Ohtani is standing up at second base with the long stretch and the Dodger dance, a.k.a. the Freddy. All right, thank you. Thank you, Shohei. Now let's keep it going. Keep it going. So needless to say, Dodgers finally get their first run. And they have another runner in scoring position with nobody out. And Andy Paez is one of the Dodgers' best hitters with a runner in scoring position. And Shohei's got the wheels to score, needless to say, from second base. That one's called a strike. And Andy Paez is going to challenge it. And I don't like that challenge in this situation. I really don't. It's not a crucial part of the game. I mean, it matters. And it's confirmed. So Andy's challenge goes down to defeat, and the Dodgers burn one and only have one for the rest of the game. And now he swings at one that's way inside, and the count is 0-2 early to Andy. If you look at our pregame, in the number 2 spot is Andy Paez at our command center. You can see on the far right, he has 76 RBI. So he ranks second. Sorry, he ranks in the top 20 in the majors with RBI. So no question, he's one of the guys you'd want to have up here in this position to score Shohei. One is grounded foul just to the left of third base. That was well inside, but at least I like the fact that, as I said earlier, Andy tries to protect the strike zone and protect the plate with 2 strikes. We have some batters that don't do that. He does it. Miguel Rojas does it. In fact, Miguel Rojas did it in a way that led to a walk earlier in the game. As Andy looks at a ball there. And Freddie Freeman does the same. And Freddie's on deck. Shohei with a pretty healthy lead at second. And then Andy fouls that one off of his foot. And he's going to have to walk off that pain. A lot of times what happens with that is you don't feel anything at first. You're just kind of numb, right? And then, 5 seconds later, 7-10 seconds later, the pain kicks in. So now the count to Andy is 2-2. No outs. So golden opportunity in this part of the batting order for the Dodgers to make some noise. And that one is low for ball 3, so the count's full. And Cameron about to deliver the full count pitch to Pages. It's grounded to third. Third baseman picks it up, looks at Ohtani, keeps him there, and throws to first base to get Pages for the second out of the inning. Now Freddie Freeman coming up. And as a new channel, please help us get off the ground. Give us a heart in the chat, or give us a 1 if you're in favor of the Dodgers, a 2 for the Royals, and of course we'd love a subscribe and a like. So the algorithm says, oh yeah, people actually want to watch this channel. Freddie looks at the first pitch way outside for ball 1. In the last, 18 games, I think, Freddie Freeman's batting .400. That one misses low for ball 2. You can see on our command center in the top left of your screen what the count is and how many outs there are and who's on base. This one is hitting the hole between shortstop and third base, and Ohtani's going to come home. They're going to be trying to throw him out, and he's able to avoid the tag, and he's safe for the second run of the Dodgers. Baby Freddie, way to go the other way, hit it to the hole, and give one of the faster big men in the league a chance to get home and score, which he did gracefully. He was able to do a traditional slide well wide of the tag and then reach inside with that long frame and touch home plate. So now the Dodgers have 2, and Tommy Edmonds coming up, who grounds to the pitcher, and he's out at first. But because of that play at the plate, the Dodgers once again have a runner in scoring position. In this case, it's Freddie Freeman, another big man who's not quite as fleet of foot as Shohei Ohtani, but he's shown in the last week that he can score from second. Give him a decent chance with a decent hit. And Mookie's 1 for 1. He's the first Dodger that hit a double tonight. And he looks at the first pitch high for ball 1. And this one is flied sky high. Looks like Caglione's the one that's going to be waving people off to try to make the catch. And he does for the third out of the inning. But the Dodgers able to score 2 and breathe some life into the fans at Dodger Stadium. And at the end of 3, it's the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. So Tarek Skubal back on the mound. He's already pitched 61 pitches, and he's given up 3 runs. And he's going to face the 5-hitter Jensen, who's 0 for 1 tonight. This is outside for ball 1. Next one in there for a strike. Scooble really mixing up his pitches. Fastballs, changeups, curves. With pretty good placement, but he's got 2 hitters that have really plagued him, the number 1 and the number 3, as this one is popped up to left field. Tommy Edmonds running over into foul territory, but makes the catch for an out. Good job, Tommy. That's the kind of ball that Teoscar Hernandez might not get to. And it's not because he's not fast enough, although Tommy is faster. It's just the effort level is not quite as good, and the skill level. But 1 away now, and Marte up. Pitch to Marte is grounded to the pitcher. Scooble takes it himself, and he underhands it to first base for the 2nd out of the inning. That's what we want. When any pitcher's on the mound, we want quick and boring innings. So now the 7-hitter Massey comes up, who's also 0 for 1. And he's batting .262 on the season. He looks at first pitch for a strike. Next pitch, swung on and missed by Michael Massey. Be nice to get a punch out, a little more energy, and a positive mentality at the plate for the Dodgers. And 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 3, exactly what the doctor ordered. And Scoob jumps off the mound with a little skip in his step, literally and figuratively, and hopefully it transfers to the rest of the Dodgers, who are right there with the Royals, trying to claw their way out of this part of the season that's been anything but a positive experience. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th, and it is the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. So Miguel Rojas set to come up, who had a good at bat last time. Nice tough one, like we were talking about. Threw a walk. And set to face Cameron again. First pitch on the way, and it's a curveball that misses inside, 77 miles an hour. And that one catches the bottom of the strike zone, 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's challenging. Dude, don't challenge right now. There's nobody on base. It's early in the game. And he's wrong. I mean, you have to be right. You have to be right. You can't be hoping to be right. This is part of what's plagued the Dodgers when they've struggled, is people trying to do more than what their job is to try to turn things around. And now the Dodgers are out of challenges for the rest of the game. Of course, as he swings and misses at that pitch, now the count's 1-2. They pan the camera over Dave Roberts, who tries to hide his frustration, but you can tell he takes his hat off and he kind of looks down at the ground. He's going, my gosh. But I put some of that on Dave Roberts myself. That next pitch misses low for ball 2-2. And I know baseball's not football, but a football coach would not allow that to happen. He would say, here are the situations you're allowed to challenge. And Rojas hits this to shortstop, and he's going to ground out for the first out of the inning. Football coach would say, these are the situations you can make that decision and put it on your shoulders, and these are the situations you can't. And they would even say certain players can do it and other players can't. But that does not look like that's the way the Dodgers operate. And if you don't obey what the coach says, then you sit them, pull them. It's very easy to implement something like that. It might not be popular, but that's part of why Dave Roberts has that job. And he's done a great job. He's done a great job leading them to 2 World Series. But this is the modern age, obviously. They have a pitch count, clock, the pitch clock. They have the ability to challenge. I think in the next couple of years, I don't know, less than 5, there will not be a home plate umpire. It just won't. That's, the computer's already overruling. And it happens really fast. I mean, these challenges, almost instantaneous. Whether you're watching it live, you can see it here on the 3D, it doesn't really matter. I'm not happy about that. Of course, nobody wants to see the robots take our jobs. But you got to have control over the winning culture. And there's no question Dave Roberts has street cred because he's won at such a high level. That one's fouled off by Teoscar. Based on a 1-2 count at this point. But it is what it is, and the Dodgers are out of challenges for the game. That one misses low, and the count's 2-2. If you agree that these coaches should have like tight rules and permissions on who can challenge when, put 1 in the chat. If you don't, I think it should just be up to the players, put a 0. This one is grounded to shortstop, and Bobby Witt Jr. picks it up and does a complete 360. He was able to reach to his left, pick up the ball, do a complete turn, and then throw it to first base like in almost the perfect spot, although the first baseman had a hell of a stretch to ensure that Teoscar Hernandez was not going to be able to beat the throw. And I guess that's why he's a Gold Glover. Wow, that's impressive. A lot of different ways to be impressive on defense. And that's one of them. When I was watching the Cubs, the thing that really impressed me was just their speed getting to the ball, especially their outfielders. But now there's 2 outs, nobody on, and Max Muncy's up. This one is drilled to the right, but Max Muncy was a little bit ahead of it. And he almost always pulls the ball to his right. So that's why if you look behind the pitcher here, you can see that the defense is shifted. So over here where it looks like it's shortstop, to the left, you can't see my mouse. That's the third baseman. And then almost right behind Cameron, as Muncy fouls that one off. Right behind the pitcher, right behind second base, is a shortstop. They're shifted way over because Max, they know Max is going to almost always pull the ball to his right and their left. Next pitch on the way. Misses low and outside for ball 3, and the count's full. So the full count pitch with 2 outs on the way to Max Muncy is grounded right to Bobby Witt Jr., and he can probably make that play in his sleep, which he does for the 3rd out of the inning. And at the end of 4, it's the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. So Tarek Skubal getting ready to go to work again. And he's going to face Collins again, who's the 8 hitter and is 0 for 1 against Scoob tonight. Swings and misses at the first pitch, 0 1. Be nice if Skubal can make quick work of these next couple of innings, because his pitch count got somewhat high early on. That one is swung on and missed. So the count's 1-2 to Collins. This is swung on and flied high to center field, but shouldn't be any trouble for Andy Pages, who makes the catch easily for the 1st out of the inning. So Isbell comes up again, 9 hitter who's 0 for 1. And Skubal starts him with a strike. Next pitch on the way and fouled back for strike 2. Reports are that Blake Snell will finally rejoin the team and start tomorrow. Pitch on the way, misses low, a changeup, 90 miles an hour. Pitch from Skubal. Just on the upper edge of the strike zone and jammed up Isbell. 98 mile an hour fastball. High leg kick from Scooble. Throws the strike and fouled off, and the count remains 1-2. Shakes off a suggestion about whatever pitch they thought he should throw, and instead, see what he's going to throw here. Throws a changeup and gets its spell swinging early and fouling it off, but the count remains 1-2. And this one is grounded to second base. Miguel Rojas picks it up and chucks it to first easily for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, nobody on, and Scooble's up to 79 pitches now. And time to face his demons as Scooble faces Lofton again. It was 2 for 2 with a double and scored a run. Really only 2 hitters that have gotten to Scooble tonight, and this is one of them. That one is grounded foul to the left, and the early count to Lofton is 0-2. Scooble's just attacking this guy right now. Quickly just getting after him. It'd be great to get a strikeout here. Have him pop off the mound with that body language. Oh-2 pitch on the way. And a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That's fouled back. And the count remains 0-2. Pitch way inside, and Lofton jumps back to avoid getting hit. It's a curveball that had way too much break. It was 84 miles an hour, and it might have caught his right shoe. Yeah, definitely. The replay shows that he got hit, and he did everything he could to try to avoid getting hit. So Lofton on base again. And Scooble not happy about that. There's nobody to blame but himself. So that's going to bring up Bobby Witt Jr., who's made some stellar defensive plays tonight. But he's 0 for 2. And Lofton still checking out his toe and his foot. Although he stole a base. So who knows? Maybe he's playing possum. Maybe take one pitch off, get the tinglies away, and then go for it. Although you don't usually want to steal 2 outs. Scooble, the lefty, gets to look directly into the eyes of the first base runner and then delivers the first pitch to Witt Jr. low for ball 1. So Scoob struggling for him facing the Royals as that one's fouled off, and now the count's even at 1-1. Last time he faced him, he completely dominated them. And he's having a little bit of the Dodger disease infecting him. But, I mean, you know, he's kept him to 3 at this point. And the Dodgers, if they want to win, they have to be able to average 5 or more runs a game. So he's still got the game in a manageable spot. They're only down by 1. Next pitch on the way from Scooble. Inside edge of the strike zone and fouled off as Witt gets jammed inside on his hands. And the count's 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way. This is high and outside for ball 3. And now it's full count with 2 outs, so Lofton will be running on this one. And that one is called strike 3. And immediately, Witt Jr. challenges it. He taps his helmet. Not a good sign because the 3D does not register it as a strike. And the challenge is successful. That was a pretty bad call by the umpire. So instead of strike 3 and the inning ending, now with 2 outs, the Dodgers have runners at first and second. And Caglianone coming up, who's 2 for 2 with a home run and 3 RBIs. He's the person that's knocked in all the runs. And as Rowe so astutely observed and put in the chat, he was a nightmare for the Cubs. So far, he's a nightmare for Tarik Skubal. The runner at second once again, 3 times. The leadoff runner in their batting order, the first runner. First batter is on second. Now he's got a guy behind him at first. Both of those times before, this guy has done some serious damage. That one catches the strike zone, lower outside corner. Nice pitch by Skubal for strike 1. Skubal up to 90 pitches now. That one backs off Caglianone a little bit. Curious how much of that was intended to get him off the plate. Count now is 1-1. Next pitch on the way. Foul back, and the count's 1-2. Skubal with a big moment tonight. Trying to keep the Dodgers within a run, and he steps off the rubber. Give himself a little breather and collect himself. I wonder if he's going to stay with whatever pitch he had in mind before that. Skubal checks the runner. And the pitch on the way. Fouled off, and the count remains 1-2. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Nice sweep action, though. Next pitch on the way, and that one also backs him off a little bit. That one was a few inches below and away from the chin. So, be interesting if you see him try to go low and outside. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big strikeout for Tarik Skubal. And walks off with a bit of relief. And the Dodgers still well within striking distance. So, good job getting himself out of a little bit of trouble there. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. And the reports are at this point that Skubal is done. He's thrown 95 pitches. Does not look very happy. Dave Roberts seemed to, I won't say console him, because he didn't look like he was in the tank about what he did tonight. But he's kind of shaking his head, and so Dave Roberts came over as the manager and patted him firmly several times on the hip to say, "Nah, good job, dude." But it is a little bit of an early exit for him, and of course they're trying to save him for the long term and not wear him down early, as that one is flied out. So Padu should now be 1 for 2. And now Shohei Ohtani comes up, who's 1 for 2. And hit a double last time. Shohei swings at the very first pitch, grounds it to second base, and knows what his fate is, and that's why he's jogging to first, as the second out of the inning is recorded. So now Andy Pages comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. And Andy's 0 for 1 tonight, but he has drawn a walk. Swings at the first pitch for a strike. And that one's hit really hard and really fast to left field, but right at Collins. So a very quick inning after Collins makes the catch. And at the end of 5 in a 1-2-3 inning, very quick by the Dodgers. Still the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. So as you see, Alex Vesia coming up in relief for Tarek Skubal. And Vesia has a 2.95 ERA with a whip of 1.21. This will be Alex's 51st game that he's pitched in this year for the Dodgers. 39 innings, 54 strikeouts, and 27 walks. Batters are only hitting 149 against him. And the first man he's going to face is Salvador Perez. Perez is 0 for 2 tonight. One of those at bats is a strikeout. And Vesia starts him with a strike. And this one is struck really deep, and both left field and center field are converging on it, but it's going to be Andy Pages who does a little hop and makes the grab for the first out. A little tiny hop, and Alex Vesia pounds his fist into his glove with some relief. So he's going to face the 5-hitter Jensen now, who's over 2. And starts him with a strike that's fouled off, and the count's 0-1. And bit of a regular measurement of Vesia's beard, because it's only gotten longer over the course of the season. I don't know if it's quite at 6 inches. This pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Next pitch from Vesia. Change up about 85 miles an hour. And it jams up Jensen, who fouls it back for strike 2. This one is a fastball and just freezes Jensen for strike 3. So good job, Alex. And Alex does his little march off the back of the mound, as he does when he feels good, and he throws a strikeout. And so 2 up and 2 down, which is exactly what should happen right now. Marte comes up, the 6-hitter, who's 0-1. Starling Marte walked earlier, and his average for the season was .248. And this one is struck deep to left field, and Tommy Edmonds on his horse. He dives right near the foul line and makes the catch. Backhanded. Completely lays out. Oh, what a winner. What a great play. And even Marte's got the biggest smile because he knows that was an outstanding play. I guess they would call that on ESPN a web jam. And that is a really great placement of a defender in the right spot, because Teoscar Hernandez would have never made that play. Way to sell out Tommy Edman. That's exactly what we need to get back on track. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is the Royals 3 and the Dodgers 2. So Freddie Freeman coming up to start this bat around for the Dodgers. And Freddie's 1 for 2 so far tonight. That hit was an RBI single in a great spot between shortstop and third base. Went the other way with it. And Shohei was on second base and was booking it and beat the throw and the tag at the plate. And the early count to Freddie Freeman is 2-0. And he looks at that one for a strike, 2-1. Out now 2-2. Tommy Edman, the hero of the moment, on deck. And that one misses outside. Now it's full count. Camera now to 85 pitches. And Freddie fouls off a slider. Slider was 87 miles an hour. And Freddie hits this ball in the same exact spot, but this one's in the air and it drops for a single. And Freddie's going to do the Freddie. There it is. And so now the Dodgers in business, hoping to rewrite the script, because during this mid-season struggle, they've had plenty of times where they've gotten the first batter on, like Freddie Freeman's in position now. Not been able to do much with it. Edman looks at that one, and the early count to him is 2-0. And Tommy fouls that one back. Now the count's 2-1. Tommy Edman from San Diego. And swings and misses at that one. The count's 2-2. And this one is grounded to second, so you know it's going to be a quick turn with the Gold Glover at shortstop. And I'm surprised they called it a double play. I thought Tommy Edman beat the throw to first. I mean, it was really quick and efficient by the Royals trying to turn two. And I think he beat the throw. Did a great job reaching late and just making contact with his toe. And this manager challenge is going to be successful. So an out recorded at second base, but Tommy Edman with great effort again. First in the outfield, then on the base path. Able to give a spark to the Dodgers. That's going to bring up Mookie Betts. It was 1 for 2. His first hit, his only hit, was a double. Looks at that one squarely in the strike zone. And Cameron misses with the next pitch outside. The count's 1-1. 1-1, 1 out, and a runner at first. And Mookie looks at another pitch for a strike. Cameron set on the mound. And Cameron throws to first to keep Tommy close to the base. See if we can see how big the lead is for Tommy. And he's to the first cut. He's not past it, though. And this pitch is swung on and missed by Betts. So Betts looks at 2 strikes in the strike zone and then chases one that's low and inside for strike 3. So 2 out with a runner on, and Miguel Rojas comes up, who drew a walk earlier, and he's 0 for 1. Batting .284 on the season. And Cameron now almost to 100 pitches as he lands that one for a strike. Rojas has 18 RBI this season, which is not a big number, obviously, but he's played kind of sparingly. If you ask me, he's very efficient in the situations that the Dodgers and Dave Roberts ask him to play. And I trust him a lot at the plate. I trust him in general. Do what they ask him to do. That one's in the dirt for a ball. And the count to Rojas is 2-1. Rojas had a huge pinch hit in the World Series last year. And the 100th pitch on the way from Cameron to Rojas, and it misses outside. Now the count's 3-1. So Rojas hopefully can take what he likes and be patient on this. And this one is driven to left center. Rojas throws his bat, and Edmonds booking it all the way around from first to third, and the third base coach, Dino Evil, holds him there. And it was clutch. That's exactly what Miguel Rojas is. Clutch. And with the Dodgers down by a run in the bottom of the 6th and 2 outs, he puts Edman in scoring position. And that's going to be it for Cameron. So Teoscar Hernandez coming up. We'll see if there's a slam dance that goes on the mound. So far, pretty tame. What they never show is the pitching coach or the manager come out when they make an official change. And it looks like the catcher's playing spoons without the spoons. And not much in the way of the glitchy 3D drama here. So let's go and see if we can get an early preview of who is coming in. And the report is that it's going to be John Schreiber, according to our command center. As it says, Schreiber, I'm going to take off the picture of myself. That's annoying, and that's annoying. Schreiber is currently at a 3.59 ERA and a whip of 1.38, giving up 7 home runs in the course of 42 innings. So it would be great in this situation to be able to have Teoscar Hernandez tee off on him. And as hard as I've been on Teoscar tonight, in the last week he hit a shot that left the stadium. Yes, yes. Thank you, Dave Roberts. Oh my gosh, this is what I was hoping for. When they showed Teoscar Hernandez starting in right field, I was saying, you know what? He might be giving Tucker a little bit of a rest and getting ready to bring in Tucker, who's a better fielder and a better situational hitter than Teoscar Hernandez late in the game when it's needed. And this is exactly the situation for that. In fact, I think what they did was the Royals brought in a right-handed reliever, Schreiber, to face Teoscar because he's right-handed. And so then the Dodgers last second said, get up there, Kyle Tucker, as the lefty, and that'll give you a chance to see the ball out of his hand a little bit more quickly and give you a great opportunity to score 1 or 2 RBIs right now with 2 outs. And after that pitch, count is 1-1 to Tucker. And this one misses outside for ball 2. And the count's 2-1 now, with Max Muncy on deck. Schreiber in a little bit of a bind. And the Royals clinging to a 1-run lead. And that one's inside, and the count's 3-1. And ball 4 to Kyle Tucker. And that's going to bring up Max Muncy, and it's Max Muncy bobblehead night. And Muncy, with 2 outs, has bases loaded, as you can see in the top left corner in the command center. And he takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. And the fans really activating now with a golden opportunity for Max Muncy. In his career, with the bases loaded, he's hit 8 grand slams. And that one's inside and got him on the hands and fouled off. And Muncy comes up and hits it over the jumping head of the first baseman. It's going to score 1 run, make that 2, and the Dodgers are going to have a third come in ahead of the tag at home. And a triple by Max Muncy with 2 outs, clearing the bases and giving the Dodgers 3 runs. And now with Muncy at third base and still 2 outs, Hunter Fiducia comes up. And the crowd is chanting, Muncy, Muncy, Muncy. And that one is lined to left field, but straight to the left fielder for an out. But a huge, huge hit by Max Muncy. And now, after 6, the Dodgers are up 5-3. And the Dodgers are going to bring in Jack Dreyer. As you can see, Jack Dreyer has a 2.87 ERA and a whip just below 1. 54 strikeouts and 13 walks, and he's done very well for the Dodgers lately. He's going to be facing Michael Massey to start. And Vesia did a good job. What the Dodgers are trying to do, as they've done for several weeks now, is not put too much pressure on any one of their relievers. Fortunate they have some pretty good depth there, and they're able to do that. And that one's fouled back, and the count early to Massey is 0-1. And this one is grounded past second base into the outfield for a base hit. So nobody out, and the leadoff hitter gets on for Isaac Collins. Collins is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out this game. Infield shifted over. You can see where Muncy's playing. Well, pretty normal position, right near the first cut. And that one swung on and missed. And the count to Collins is 1-1. And the pitch on the way from Dreyer is popped up very high. And Freddie Freeman's coming in and calling Dreyer out of the way. And easily makes the catch. So one away and a runner on. And now Jack's going to face Kyle Isbell, who's 0 for 2. And he's batting .231 this season. So the pitch from Dreyer swung on, and it's hit to deep right field. Kyle Tucker's going back. He makes a hop, but can't get to the ball, and it lands just out of reach for a home run. And just like that, the Royals tie the game 5-5. So the Royals not done yet. And neither is this game. It is now tied again. And that's going to go to the top of the order now for the Royals, with Nick Lofton coming up, who's 2 for 2 tonight, with a single and a double, and also been hit by a pitch. So he's been on base every time. And this pitch misses inside, and the early count to Lofton is 1-1. This is not really a home run hitting team that the Dodgers are facing, but this has been an unfortunately negative knack that the Dodgers pitching staff has lately, and that is giving up home runs, including to people that don't normally hit them. Our pitch misses, and now the count's 3-1. One pitch from Dreyer on the way. And that misses high. And he walks Lofton. So now Lofton on base all 4 times tonight. Lofton, one of only 2 guys that really gave Tarek Skubal trouble early on. He's been trouble all night one way or another. Single, a double, hit by a pitch. Then now draws a walk without too much trouble. And this is the flip side of the coin, if you ask me, when it comes to Dave Roberts. I love his his offensive substitutions. Last inning was perfect. I mean, it's classic. He brings in Kyle Tucker off the bench to replace Teoscar Hernandez, which is what I was hoping he was going to do in a key situation. Then Max Muncy comes up with 2 outs, the bases loaded, and he hits a triple. But Alex Vesia last inning he made quick work of these guys, and he didn't pitch many pitches, so why not keep him in for another inning? As this runner goes again on Fiducia, and Fiducia, I mean, he doesn't even look like, as a catcher, that he planted his feet properly. He was kind of falling to the right, and you can't generate a lot of force that way, throwing to second when somebody's trying to steal. And Lofton, with that speed, steals his second base on Fiducia this evening. As that pitch is fouled back by Witt Jr. But this is something that you're going to know in the scouting report. And unfortunately, Dreyer probably a little too much in his head about not having a good outing this inning, and he should have held that runner on. Should have thrown him at least once to give Fiducia some kind of chance, as that one is grounded foul. So 1 out, as you can see in our command center in the top left corner. And runner at second, with Jack Dreyer now facing potential strikeout, but not a double play situation because of the steal. Witt has turned in some amazing defensive plays tonight. There's been a few. There's also been one, a diving catch in left field that we saw by Tommy Edman. Oh, but he swings and misses here at strike 3. So a big strikeout for Jack Dreyer. So now 2 away. And really the guy who's been the most damaging to the Dodgers, including Skubal, is coming up now. Caglianone. He's had a double, he's had a home run, and he fouls this one off. Skubal had an okay outing. I'm sure disappointed for him, even though he struck out this guy the last time up. Dreyer delivers. And this one grounded to first. Freddie Freeman's going to pick it up, jog to first, and make the tag on the bag, no problem. And 3 away. But we've got an exciting one on our hands now. We go to the 7th inning stretch, and the Royals tie it up with a 2-run home run. Now it's the Royals 5 and the Dodgers 5. So they'll go to the bottom of the 7th, and Shohei Ohtani set to lead off for the Dodgers. Shohei's 1 for 3 tonight, and he had an RBI double, and he's also scored a run. He was on second base when Freddie Freeman came up and hit a ground ball single to left, and he was able to score. Count early to Ohtani. And this one is over the jumping head of the shortstop into left field for a single. So Shohei's on base again. And does his Freddie and his headbutt with the first base coach. So now Andy Pages comes up, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Runner at first, nobody out. And that one misses low for ball one. And the organ player, along with the Dodgers fans at Dodger Stadium, singing "Let's Go Dodgers," as Andy fouls that one. Golden opportunity for the Dodgers against number 56, Lang. Lang's given up a bunch of runs with runners in scoring position. I'll check his ERA in a second in the command center. One is fouled off by Andy. Oh, he's got an ERA of 6.11. And Lang throws to first and keeps Ohtani in check. And Lang delivers and misses, and now the count is full. And Ohtani is stealing. And he's in there. They don't even try to throw to second as Andy Pages looks at strike three. But you know what? Shake your head all you want, Andy. You already challenged earlier tonight, and you burned it when you were wrong. And that's one reason why we don't have any challenges left. So do what you normally do, Andy. Protect the plate if it's close. You're actually good at that. But Shohei's in scoring position now, again, for Freddie Freeman, who already scored him earlier tonight in a similar situation. Freddie looks at the first pitch for a ball. Freeman's 2 for 3 tonight. He has 2 singles. Looks at that one for a strike. Just catches the strike zone. The count's 1-1 to Freddie. The last 17 hits that Freddie Freeman has had, all been singles. And they kind of look like that's what he's been shooting for, just making good contact, as that one misses for a ball. Almost like Rod Carew used to do back in the day. Just a relaxed swing, making contact, and a hit machine. And Freddie, you can see by his body language, did not think that was a strike, but the replay confirmed it. It counts 2-2. Love to see that power come back from Freddie as well. And that one misses low for ball 3. So full count to Freddie Freeman, with Tommy Edman on deck. And it's grounded to the right side in the hole this time. And Ohtani's going to come around and try to score like he did before. And he does easily. Catcher steps in front of home plate and then quickly throws the second to get Freeman, who was trying to stretch that into a double. But an RBI single for Freddie Freeman and a huge, huge run for the Dodgers. And now they got a 1-run lead thanks to another RBI single where Freddie Freeman brings Shohei Ohtani home from second base. So now nobody on and Tommy Edman up. With 2 outs, he looks at the first pitch for a ball. I'm a little surprised that Freddie tried to go to second. As Tommy swings and misses at that one. Counts 1-1. Because he's not the fastest. But I think he was probably sent by the first base coach, assuming that they were going to try to make a play at the plate. They didn't. Not only did they not try to get Ohtani, the catcher walked all the way out to the grass so that he could quickly meet the ball and relay it to second. So that was a good job by them. Especially if we're assuming they're correct that there was not going to be a play at the plate. Try to tag out Ohtani. Edman trying to get his first hit of the night. And he does. He rolls it right up the middle, just to the right of second base. And a 2-out single for Tommy Edman. So that's going to bring up Mookie Betts. And he swings at the very first pitch, but the second baseman gets all the way over to the other side of second base, backhands it as it chops into his glove, and then pops up and is able to step on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Dodgers, with some clutch hitting, and they've shown it more than once tonight, so this could be a good sign for the future going forward, is able to score a run at the end of 7. It is now the Royals 5 and the Dodgers 6. So we go to the top of the 8th, and Tanner Scott coming in to help try to close this thing out, but 6 outs is a long way to go. Tanner's pitched in 50 games this year with a record of 1-3 and an ERA of 2.31. Opponents are only batting .198 against him. With his 60 strikeouts, he's only given up 10 walks. And he's been the most consistent of the pitchers that you would consider to be closers for the Dodgers over the course of this season. Going to start by facing Salvador Perez. And starts him with a strike. Perez is in the 4 spot. He's a big man. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and he's only batting .214 on the year. Ask for quick time. I'm going to take this opportunity to see how many home runs he has. He has 16 home runs. That one's inside, and now the count is 1-2 to Perez. Perez started his baseball career seeing kids play wiffle ball when he was a kid in the neighborhood and said, "Hey, can I play?" Boy, wiffle ball's so fun. It's addicting. We used to play all the time in the neighborhood. And it was a perfect setup. We had this long street that I lived on that had 3 other streets connect to it and kind of end at it. And one of my buddies' houses was perfectly on the intersection of where one of those streets met my street, as Perez grounds to Mookie Betts, and it goes straight to him, and Mookie's able to throw the slow guy out after Freddie has to tag bump him at first. So now Carter Jensen comes up, the 5-hitter, who's also over tonight. He's over 3. He's batting .226. Tanner Scott starts him with an inside fastball for a strike that's fouled off. And that was 96 miles an hour. That one misses for a ball, 1-1. Next pitch on the way, and the catcher freezes, trying to frame the ball. It doesn't get the call and can't challenge because we're out of them. The count now is 2-1. The next one also misses, and the count's 3-1. So with 1 out, Tanner Scott on the verge of walking Jensen, which is the last thing you want from a reliever. But that one's fouled off, and now the count's full. And 1 away with a full count. That one just misses inside. So Tanner Scott kind of dancing just outside of the strike zone. Sends a base runner to first. And the Royals are going to make a substitution at first base. They're going to have a pinch base runner, knowing that they only have 5 outs left in this game. And Starling Marte coming up, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. But Tommy Edman completely robbed him last time of what would probably have been a triple, at least a double, as he sprinted his tail off and laid out and caught the ball in the air as it was about to land right about at the left foul line. Just an outstanding web gem, if you will. Tanner ahead early in the count to Marte. And that one fouled off. The count's 0-2. And the pitch from Scott is grounded right back to Scott, who throws to second base. They make the tag there, throw to first, and the stretch gets them in time for the double play. And Tanner Scott does his job in more than one way. pitching and fielding there. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Dodgers still clinging to a 1-run lead, 5-6. So Miguel Rojas coming up, hoping to start a positive inning where the Dodgers can get an insurance run or two. And he's going to face Kuas, who's got a 2.25 ERA. So far, the Dodgers have out-hit Kansas City 10-6. And it's going to be a righty facing a righty. But Quas, number 74. It's also a sidearm thrower, and I like sidearm throwers for batters. I think it's easier to track the ball as it comes out of his hand because it usually stays at one level. And Rojas looks at the first pitch for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Next pitch, and Rojas, a surprise bunt. And the third baseman, thinking he can't quite get there in time to be able to throw him out, takes a chance and lets the ball roll foul before it gets to third base. Good decision. Wow. And the count to Miguel Rojas is 1-1. Rojas is 1 for 2, and he's hit a double tonight. Really clutch. So Rojas makes the long walk back and gets back to work. As the next sidearm throw misses outside for ball 2. This pitch is popped up high to first base. And shouldn't be trouble for Caglione to make that catch, and it isn't. And 1 away. Next up is Kyle Tucker, who was substituted late at a perfect time by Dave Roberts. And drew a walk and was part of that 3-run triple, all of the guys coming home, thanks to Max Muncy's clutch hit with 2 outs. He grounds that one foul to the first base side. And that one misses high. Well, the count's 1-1 to Tucker. Next pitch on the way. Outside. And the catcher taps his head to challenge. But this one looks clearly outside. As much as a couple of inches can be clearly. And yes, they confirm it. And now the Royals have one challenge left. The Dodgers have none. They wasted him early in not crucial situations. Next pitch on the way, and Tucker flies it, and Bobby Witt Jr. backpedals into the outfield and makes the catch. Boy, he's really good. That was easy for him. And 2 away. And big cheers for Max Muncy, who's coming up again. After being 1 for 3 tonight, but a clutch double that scored 3 runs earlier in this game. Swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Ooh. That was wild. Quas did like a double take. He twitched his leg up, froze, and then did it again and delivered the ball, but it was outside and counts 1-1. That one he just goes right now, and it's almost like he was trying to catch Muncy, not ready. Muncy grounds it foul to the right, and the count's 1-2. And that one is swung on and missed for strike 3 by Muncy. So it gets punched out by Quas. And oh no. Pretty sure that Diaz is going to come in. Edwin Diaz. Oh, he's spoiled 2 save opportunities in the last week. Please. Please, bro. I mean, his ERA is 10. It's 10. That doesn't happen. 10.8. He's pitched 10 innings this year, and I know he's been good in the past. But, dude, we got a 1-run lead. And he has 15 strikeouts. But he's got 8 walks. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. When you have Skubal to somebody that's like 9-to-1. And in only 10 innings, he's given up 3 home runs. Oh, this is going to be stressful, guys. It's going to be stressful. So 3 outs away from a much-needed win, and one to open this 3-game series against the Kansas City Royals. One of the things I don't like about Edwin Diaz is the sidearm delivery. Like I said before with the Royals pitcher, I think it makes it easier to track the ball because it stays more often on the same horizontal plane. He's going to start by facing Massey. Massey's 1 for 3 with a single tonight, and he scored a run. Massey's also .263 with 9 home runs. Starts him with a strike. And that one misses way inside and goes to the backstop. Now it counts 1-1. And Diaz is motioning like the communication system, comm system for short, is something that he can't hear the pitches. And it looks like maybe it's connected now and he's okay. I will not breathe deeply till this entire inning is over. I do not have confidence in this guy to get these three guys out. Massey fouls that one off, and the count's 1-2. And part of the thing, too, with the way Diaz delivers the ball is it's very erratic. And I didn't play professional baseball, but what I'm saying is, when you do something on a regular basis physically, you can kind of understand it. And I remember when I was a kid, I'd see sidearm pitchers, and I would a couple of us kids in the neighborhood, we would try to emulate that. And I remember how hard it was to control the ball throwing sideways compared to throwing it overhead. But he gets Massey swinging. That's a huge strikeout. So strike 3. And these next two at batters the batters are huge because Collins is the 8 batter and then the 9 is after him. And Collins is 0 for 3. And Diaz just misses there for ball 1. But if Diaz doesn't get the next two guys out, he faces what's been Murderer's Row, or at least the tip of the spear for the Royals tonight. Because 1 through 3, they've been very productive, and they've kind of tortured the Dodgers right from the very beginning. This pitch is flied to center field, and Andy Pajes goes back to the track and is able to make the catch. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but it was a long fly and a long out, and now we're 1 out away from the victory. And the fans coming to their feet for Diaz and the Dodgers, but he's facing the 9-hitter who hit a home run off of Jack Dreyer in relief. So we are by no means out of the woods. And he throws the first pitch inside to Isbell for ball 1. That one catches the top of the strike zone, and the count's 1-1. And Diaz asks for a little time so he can tie his shoe. I don't know if that's real or not. If it's a ploy to try to gather himself, fine. His shoe's actually coming untied. That's unprofessional, ask me. Back underway, and the next pitch, nicely placed in the lower outside corner. And the count's 1-2. Next pitch, and it's grounded to first. Freddie Freeman picks it up, and he's going to take it on his own and step on the bag for the victory. So good job, Edwin Diaz. I doubted you. I did not have confidence, but you got it done anyway. And that was actually an all-around improvement from the Dodgers, both in terms of pitching as well as timely offensive hitting and some good defensive play. A couple of outstanding plays defensively on both sides of the ledger for both teams. And so we're going to go to our post-game box score. And the big thing is that, the veterans really stepped up. For the Dodgers, even though they were plagued by the top of the lineup, both with the top, the leadoff hitter, Nick Lofton, at third base, getting on base all 4 times, and Bobby Witt Jr. Struggling, but Joe Caglianone being able to just wreck the Dodgers, as well, Kyle Isbell hitting a home run. The Dodgers veterans, namely Shohei Ohtani, getting on base and getting 2 hits on the night. Freddie Freeman getting 3 hits on the night. Tommy Hedman with a great defensive play and a hit. And the biggest one of all, most likely, I think most people would argue, even though he was 1 for 4, came from Max Muncy when the bases were loaded and the Dodgers needed it most to be able to take a lead in the middle part of the game and score 3 runs on 1 stroke of the bat. So an outstanding job by the Dodgers getting over the hump, although, they're not facing a team that's in the top of the rankings. As you can see there at the top, Kansas City Royals now dropped to 49-71, and they end the night just where they started, which was in last place in the AL Central. The Dodgers, fortunately, though, remain in first place in the NL West. And the Brewers lost tonight. I don't know where that would put the Dodgers in terms of their overall record in baseball. But right now, it's all about focusing on your own business and not thinking about anybody else, because you have no control over that anyway. And it'd be nice if the Dodgers can string together a couple of wins here at home and start to gain some momentum. Tomorrow, we're going to see Blake Snell come back to the starting rotation. So hopefully he also provides another step up and a lift to the Dodgers. And we're looking forward to that possibility. So thanks to everybody that joined us tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. The next 2 games, in fact, all throughout the week pretty much, until we get close to the weekend, are the same first pitch time. So tomorrow, once again, the Dodgers will be at home for Game 2 of this series against the Kansas City Royals with Blake Snell on the mound. And the first pitch will be 7:10. We'll be here to give you an overview shortly before that, probably about 20 minutes or so, and also give the fans in the fan zone a couple of chat questions. So thanks again, and